Tragic end. Josh Powell and his 2 sons are dead in a house fire. The latest details from this complex case.
Romney rolling. GOP candidates are hoping to derail the Romney train before another round of state primaries.
And crunch time, the final minutes of the Super Bowl and what made this year's game a giant win. We've got the highlights coming up. I'm Kelsey Eager.
And I'm Kara Teo. It's Monday, February 6th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
Police have confirmed Josh Powell started the fire that killed him and his 2 sons yesterday in Washington State. Powell was getting a supervised visit yesterday afternoon, but the social worker who brought 7-year-old Charlie and 5-year-old Braden to the house says Powell immediately locked her out. She says the house smelled like gas, and she ran around the street trying to find a phone to call 911 when the house exploded. One neighbor says the blast shook the whole street.
I just knew that if there was anyone in there, they didn't survive. You could tell that instantly from what we saw.
Before his death, Powell sent an email to his lawyer that police say point to his guilt in the disappearance of his wife, Susan Powell. He only wrote 3 words: "I'm sorry, goodbye." Police say they considered him a person of interest when Susan went missing from their West Valley home back in 2009. Police here in Utah say they will work with police in Washington to bring the case to a close in the next few weeks. Police have located a crumpled Jeep in Price with 2 bodies inside and suspect they are 2 Colorado men who have been missing for more than a week. Brian Axe and Mark Weidgren left a workers' camp to drive to dinner in Price when their Jeep apparently ran off the road. Police won't know for sure if the bodies are the Colorado men until they finish the autopsy.
With a fresh Nevada win, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is riding high. He got more than 50% of the Nevada delegate votes on Saturday. He says he hopes to increase the support in this week's caucuses in Colorado, Minnesota, and Maine. Polls say if Romney ran against President Obama today, the president would beat him by 6%. U.S. Representative Rob Bishop says restructuring in the Air Force will not have a big impact on Hill Air Force Base. The Air Force is saying goodbye to 500 planes and replacing F-16s with F-35s. Bishop says the reductions at Hill should be minimal, and Hill will get the first batch of F-35s.
When people want BYU apparel or merchandise, they go to the campus bookstore, but people may not know that they can buy these items online. 11 News reporter Ariel Harrison did some of her own online shopping. Ariel, what did you find?
Students are using the bookstore's website not only for merchandise, but for textbooks as well. BYUBookstore.com is helping this campus location maintain customers through this recession.
Stephanie Oran gets orders ready for bookstore customers who buy items online. For 2 years, she has helped a division of the bookstore that few know about.
Before working here, I had no idea what e-commerce was.
The e-commerce department here at the bookstore is one of our strongest departments, and with a great staff to fulfill all the orders that we get every single day.
With all those orders, bookstore managers say that the website is one of the reasons the bookstore is surviving through the tough economy.
So in recent years, we've taken the approach to e-commerce that we see it as an area where we can help the bookstore to retain sales and to gain additional customers.
BYUBookstore.com lets students order textbooks online and pick them up once they get to campus.
In 2009, we tested selling textbooks online, and we soon made all of our textbooks available to students online.
For those far away, online orders come in from a database and print office pick lists. Student employees gather merchandise from the inventory at the bookstore and then prepare them for shipping in a matter of hours. And for the 60,000 served through the website, bookstore workers have high hopes to better their services and continue to help more and more customers.
Because of the bookstore website, customers are able to purchase items from BYU in all 50 states and 85 different countries. Lawyer also says that by simply purchasing something from the website enables a customer to be added to that email list. Live in the newsroom, Ariel Harrison, 11 News.
Thanks, Ariel. 11 News at noon returns. History Hobby, why family history roots are spreading quickly across the nation.
And Football Frenzy, all the hard hits and power plays that sent the Patriots past.
New technology is helping family history fans find information with just the click of a mouse. 11 News reporter Janet Govin tells us how searching for ancestors is getting easier.
Doing family history 10 or even just 5 years ago was not an easy task.
Taking notepads and pencils and papers and going places and trying to find records and looking on shelves and in books, it was a nightmare.
I used to traipse through the cemeteries and do all that, and it was a lot of work.
But with advances in technology and new ways of searching, family history is becoming much less tedious and much more exciting, especially with the government releasing the 1940 U.S. Census this year.
It's a census that there's tons of people today that are still living that are actually recorded in that census.
The number of names available for search online has doubled in just the past year, and genealogists expect that trend to continue.
Now that the human genome is mapped, even biology is involved in the search.
There are some great advances being made in DNA technology that will allow us to find find people that probably came from this town.
As the amount of information explodes, so has the number of people looking for it.
In 2002, we handled 35,000 customer help interactions. In 2011, we handled 11.5 million.
And for those people, searching will continue to get easier in the future.
Way easier. It's 100 times better.
It's amazing how far it's come.
In Salt Lake City, Janet Govin, 11 News.
There are already 140,000 volunteers who transcribe written records online, and Family Search officials say they expect more to volunteer when the 1940 census goes live.
Americans now have to pay to renounce their citizenship, slave labor accusations at SeaWorld, and guided attempts to rob a California bank with apple pies. Here's your look at news from across the nation. Renouncing your U.S. citizenship now comes at a price, $450 to be precise. The State Department doesn't say how or costs, only that people should have to pay. It's also getting more expensive to keep your U.S. citizenship and prove it through an American passport. That price went up from $55 to $70. PETA is accusing California's SeaWorld of forcing slave labor of whales. The animal rights group has filed a lawsuit, the first ever to apply the 13th Amendment to animals, and they say the law ignores gender, race, and species. PETA says SeaWorld violently seized the 5 orca whales as babies and wants SeaWorld to release them into the wild. And a robbery right off the McDonald's dollar menu. A man who robbed a Sacramento bank on Saturday may have stopped at the drive-thru first. The FBI says the man claimed to carry a pair of bombs as he held up the bank, but instead only had 2 apple pies from McDonald's. Officials say the man got away with a large amount of money, but police arrested him soon after. And that's your look at news from across the nation.
111 News at noon returns. Salt Lake or Lakers? Utah Jazz Kobe and the boys of LA in a screamer of a game. Designed to dominate, engineering students are building a cardboard castle to crush the competition.
And stay with us to find out if you'll be needing that umbrella this week. 11 weather when we return.
So actually, it was kind of chilly this morning as I was coming up to campus.
It was.
Well, the weekend we had really great weather.
That's right.
Run in. It was perfect outside.
Super Bowl weekend, great weather. Even though we were staying inside, it looked great outside. And if we take a look actually outside right now, we have that beautiful snow-covered mountain. And currently in Provo, it's around 34 degrees, and with a humidity of 69%, and the wind speed's pretty calm. Taking a look at what to expect for tonight's weather. We have a low around 23, pretty chilly with mostly clear skies, and a sunset at 5:51 p.m. And now we're going to take a look at the bigger picture with that satellite map of the nation. We see here for our state here that little weak storm coming in. That'll be hitting us at around Wednesday with some clouds coming in. Looking at the highs for our state, looks like all of the degrees here are in the 40s, with Price and Vernal in the 30s, and beautiful St. George, 55 degrees. I wish I were there. Looking now specifically at St. George and that southern weather for the 5 days here. It's going to be pretty warm. We can expect the sun to go here through Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, kind of hiding there. That's that storm we were talking about earlier, with the highs in the 50s and 60 for Thursday, and Friday, beautiful. 59 degrees for the high and 33 for the low. Taking a look now at the northern part of our state, we have those highs probably in the 40s with the lows in the 20s, and see that sun here Monday through Tuesday, then Wednesday, that storm we were talking about with the clouds. And Thursday and Friday, great weekend weather, great Valentine's Day weather, maybe a picnic outside with a loved one, something fun. But we'll see about that. What do you guys think?
I'm excited for a sunny weekend.
I hope the guys are listening. I think picnics, probably a stroll, something fun outside, great weather.
All right,
thanks guys.
Thank you.
So we had great weather for the Super Bowl weekend.
And great food, great commercials. Sean, do you have some great footage for us from the game?
Well, I do, and we don't have any of the commercials, although they were pretty good too. But next on sports, the Buffalo Wings and Chips are gone, but there's a new NFL champion. And something about the end of yesterday's Super Bowl seemed all too familiar for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And there was contention aplenty in this weekend's grudge match between the Jazz and Lakers. Sports is next. Stay tuned. And the Giants weren't the only ones with a winning weekend. BYU men's basketball grounded the Portland Pilots in a very physical 79-60 win. Brandon Davies nearly pulled off a rare triple-double in this record-setting game, scoring 18 points while pulling down 13 boards and adding 8 steals, too. The Cougars set 2 team records, grabbing 18 steals and shooting 53 free throws. Now, the future of BYU basketball is in good hands, too. Lone Peak High School's men's basketball is 21st in the nation and has 2 future Cougars. While we won't see him in BYU blue for a few years, 11 sports reporter Kim Huber went to find out just what's special about this dynamic duo.
Seeing the Emery and Haas names on the back of a BYU basketball jersey isn't anything a Cougar fan could ever forget. And while neither name has graced the hardwood with its presence this season, there's plenty of Haas and even Emery talent that we can look forward to in seasons to come. We remember this and this, but just wait until you see this. The younger brothers of Jackson and Tyler, Nick Emery and TJ Haas, have both verbally committed to play for the Cougars after they finish high school.
While Nick and TJ are second-generation Lone Peak High School greats, their game style greatly differs from that of their older brothers. Luckily for Coach Rose, those differences could mean something even better for the future of BYU basketball.
Tyler, really just a scoring machine. TJ has more ball handling to his game. He's thinner, does a few other things on the court, a little bit better passer. You know, Nick's more of a point guard than Jackson. His dribbling skills are further along than where Jackson was at this point. Nick's probably a little bit more of a scorer than Jackson was also.
The Cougs can look forward to Nick's strong offensive style play and TJ's impressive ball handling skills. And while it will still be a couple of years until we see these boys sporting the blue and white, Coach Lewis says that we have a lot to look forward to.
It sounds cliche, but there's a lot of kids who once they get to college, they're done working, you know, except for when they have to in practice. But TJ and Nick will not be like that. They're going to get better and better and better.
It's comforting knowing that there's a strong future continuing for BYU basketball. Reporting from Lone Peak High School, Kim Huber, 11 Sports.
And future Cougar Nick Emery is ranked 16th among ESPNU's top 50 shooting guards in the country. And BYU women's basketball is back on the winning track, too, after avenging their earlier loss to St. Mary's in a big way. The Cougars led early and led throughout, starting the game on a 10-2 run and never looking back. BYU shot a solid 47% from the field, including 8 3-pointers like this one. But it was BYU's domination down low that made the difference, scoring 48 points in the paint, including forward Kristen Riley's 15, and the Cougars cruised to an 83-47 win. And as you can see, BYU female athletes aren't all just sugar and spice. BYU hosted National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, and 11 News reporter Liz Mullins found out just what drives these women to play.
Katie Duckworth wants to be just like her big sister Carly, a BYU softball player. BYU female athletes say they are honored to be role models for girls like Katie, and Saturday they had a chance to do just that. BYU hosted National Girls and Women in Sports Day, where girls of all ages were able to meet the athletes, get autographs, and even do some drills. But for Katie, the best part was just being there.
Just coming here and seeing the fun atmosphere and seeing everybody just coming together, playing sports.
Teresa Hampson says events like this are a great opportunity for young girls.
I think it's good for them to see the athletes and to see what they're like, and so I think they're learning that there's good things in sports and that there's a lot to do and learn to be more 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 physically active.
Female athletes say they get a lot of benefits from playing sports. Players develop skills such as teamwork, self-esteem, and hard work. 7 of BYU's women's athletic teams came together this Saturday to not only show girls what sports were available, but to inspire them to be passionate about whatever they pursue.
I just hope to teach them to believe in their dreams, because I dreamed of coming here, and here I am. So,
Cougar athletes say they work just as hard as the men and are treated as equals, but there's just something different about being a girl.
Women are better.
On BYU campus, Liz Mullins, 11 News.
The female athletes say they hope that events like these will promote women's sports and encourage higher game attendance.
Okay, and how about Super Bowl weekend? Great weekend? Oh. Still to come on 11 News at noon. College Castle. There won't be any Knights or Dragons with this castle, but students are hoping a world record will fit inside.
Before you put that cardboard box in a recycling bin, think about bringing it to BYU campus. BYU gathered hundreds of recycled cardboard boxes to Brigham Square to build a corrugated castle. BYU's environmental group is attempting to beat Harvard University's record of 566 boxes. Engineering students designed the palace, but anyone can take a break between classes to help build it. That looks like so much fun.
Looks like fun. Are you guys going to help out? Maybe make a castle. Why not?
What I want to know is, do we get to play in the castle?
That's right.
It kind of reminds me of that kids show Out of the Box.
Oh, don't get me started. Love that show. Good boxes.
We should go. I have extra boxes, so let's just head over.
Oh, sounds great. We've got some breaks today, so I'm sure we can stop in and build something.
That's 11 News at noon for Monday, February 6th. 2012.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.